Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know if anybody is still in here. I didn't realize I was late. And StreamYard is messing with me again. So if there's anybody in here, please put a 1 in the chat. All right, that's cool. All right, love. That'll be about actually in like 34 minutes. That starts at 11 Eastern time. Oh shit. I was gonna recap it, but if nobody comes in, Alicia. Before the storms, golly, everybody's getting storms. We got beautiful weather. I'm sorry. Hello, Otter. How are you? So, did everybody catch yesterday's opening statements on this case? I am doing okay. Not the greatest, but I'm doing okay. I have a little bit of health issues going on, but I'm okay. It just sucks that this isn't. I'm glad actually it's not video and it's just audio. Starting tomorrow, I'll be able to do any kind of. I have my laptop back and my Wi-Fi fixed, so I'll be able to use my laptop. Give me 1 second. It sounds like my dog is getting into shit. Alright, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I am reading exhibited with a lot of cups. It's gorgeous today, but we have branches and shit to clean up from the other day. Y'all just getting it one way or the other, ain't you there, honey? Don't think I did. I haven't been most up to date with this. Okay, well, this one actually just started yesterday, so like they've had jury selection for like the last 5.5 days. They did most of yesterday morning was the rest of jury selection, and the judge was telling the jury their crap that they got to do, and it was a whole bunch of boring crap yesterday. And then after their lunch, they went and started opening statements. The prosecution went first, and the defense went last. And I really can't tell you. I can let you guys listen to it because we have 30 minutes. I can let you listen to it. They each had an hour, but they didn't go an hour. So hold on 1 second. Okay. Hey, get. Sorry, my my cat tangled up in my nebulizer hoses and stupid. Alright, so yesterday, God, it was so long. It was a long day yesterday. It was 5 hours. God, I can't wait for my internet to get fixed. I'm so excited for it. Because this stuff drives me nuts. When it must take forever to load. Come on. Come on, man. I have no idea why it's taking forever. Alright, so let's go down here. And mind you, she was in the courtroom yesterday, and she was sitting all the way in by the wall. You almost couldn't see her. You almost couldn't even recognize who she was until she stood up and her lawyer went over there to her. Because otherwise, she looked like somebody that worked at the courthouse.
You're using that instruction on it. You're using that laptop, right? That's what should be coming up on the screen. Gentlemen, when we took our recess, I told you that we would start with opening statements.
Oh, really? Really? You're going to do this to me right now? And it just was starting to play.
And that's where we will begin. Again, remember that nothing that the attorneys say is evidence. This is what they, this is what.
Oh my God.
Overview of what they believe the evidence will show. With that, prosecution. You want it now? Go ahead. Okay. I can't, actually, I thought this was for perimeter lights like it is in my courtroom, but it's not. Their panel is up there if you want to dim the perimeter lights. It's up to you. Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Every question you will have to answer as judge in this case has to do with sanity, specifically the defendant's sanity. At the conclusion of the evidence, the court will give you jury instructions. One specific jury instruction will talk specifically about insanity. Another
it will read that as to the question saying, the defendant was insane at the time of the commission of the acts if she was so diseased or defective in mind at the time of the commission of the acts as to be incapable of distinguishing right from wrong with respect to that act, or she suffered from a condition of mind caused by a mental disease or defect that prevented her from forming a culpable mental state. That is an essential element of a crime charge. A culpable mental state is like an intention or knowing. Evidence in this case will show that she could distinguish between right and wrong, and that she was absolutely capable of forming the specific intent required of these charges. Those instructions will go on to give specific guidance on what qualifies as a mental disease or defect. Thus, care should not be taken to confuse mental disease or defect with moral obliquity, mental depravity, passion growing out of anger, revenge, or hatred, or other motives and kindred evil conditions. Because when an act is induced by any of these causes, the ones that I've just listed, the person is accountable to the law, meaning that the person can be found guilty for committing a class charge. You should consider the evidence you will hear in this case in context with that instruction. This case is about two people. First is Gannon Jacob Stout, an 11-year-old little boy. Came into this world premature, weighing just 1 pound 6 ounces. He proved to be a fighter, and overcame the difficulties associated with being born so small. He's survived by his mother, Landon Hyatt, his father, Al Stout.
Hello, Redhead. How are you? Good morning.
And his precocious little sister, Landon. On January 26, 2020, something bad.
We are catching up from yesterday on the Letitia Stout trial. These are opening statements. This is the prosecution started.
Inside the Stout family home. Gannon suffered some burns. You'll learn this from a video recording this defendant made that night, January 26th. You'll hear her as she manipulated Gannon, putting guilt on him for some mistake that the child made. And in that recording...
Oh, don't you do this when they play the recording now. They're about to play a recording. Hey. And there you go. Damn.
I hear Gannon saying his own words, "I'm just worried about my burns."
Gee, I just don't know what to do.
Well, devastating. Initially, Scott can't lie when the TMZ information.
Gannon, I promise it's the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose? Okay, you promise. You promise. Pinky promise. Okay, all right, so listen. All right, we're going to have to sell stuff to fix it, okay? So we'll figure out what we got to sell. We can sell the sofa. We can sell whatever, because we got to get it fixed. So, lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house, okay? You got it? You got it?
I'm worried about my burns.
Okay, listen. So tomorrow,
In this case, is that last question is her. You said so tomorrow. I can say right here. The defense. January 26, 2020 into January 27, 2020. She's the sole provider for Gannon. Her husband, Al Stout, Gannon's father, serves in the National Guard. He was in Oklahoma for National Guard training. Left that Saturday night, the 25th. Everything that happened to Gannon from that point forward was her decision. She carried out actions to kill Gannon, to put his body in a suitcase and hide it, to hide evidence of what she did to Gannon. Told numerous stories to investigators to manipulate the course of the investigation. And finally, to to discard Gannon inside that suitcase off of a Florida bridge like garbage. January 27, 2020, Gannon's home, located at 6627 Main Dam Drive, here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, turned into the stuff of nightmares. In fact, the one place a little boy like Gannon should have felt the safest, his bedroom, did to, like I said, the stuff of nightmares. That bedroom is in fact where he was brutally murdered. The defendant attacked him viciously, mercilessly, deliberately, and intentionally. These are exhibits that you'll see from the doctor down in Florida, Dr. Ignacio, when she performed the autopsy. He'll tell you that Gannon suffered 18 stab wounds to his body, his chest, his back, his head, and most importantly, his arms and his hands. Why is that important? Gannon was fighting for his life, and those were defensive wounds. Next came a crushing blow to his head that was so strong, it fractured his skull like an eggshell. That wasn't enough for this defendant. He retrieved a 9mm handgun, fired it at Gannon 3 times. 2 bullets struck the pillow near him and were caught in the fibers of that pillow. That 3rd bullet entered his jaw, traveled through his head, fracturing his mandible, his vertebrae, hitting his spinal cord, and lodged in the back of his head and was recovered at autopsy. Gannon's life drained from his body, drop by drop. The photo that's on the screen right now is a picture of his bedroom. The same corner where he was in that picture, or where you'll see him in a picture in the bed. Each one of those markers signifies a small blood drop that splattered across his wall. It ran down the corner of his mattress, soaked through the carpet padding, and puddled on the concrete foundation below that carpet. The defendant then took very deliberate action. She decided to hide her crimes from the world, and she took action to hide those crimes from the world. She collected Gannon's bloody and broken body in the blankets and pillow that were near him and shoved them into a suitcase and hid them in the storage unit in that basement. That basement storage unit is right around the corner from Gannon's bedroom. What she didn't know is that she was leaving clues behind in that storage room. That plastic tub that you see in the bottom left portion of that picture has Gannon's blood on it. There was an Amazon box in that storage room that has Gannon's blood on it. The concrete floor in that storage room had Gannon's blood on it. The defendant next decided to clean Gannon's room. Deliberately, intentionally, knowing what she was doing. She scrubbed the walls, cleaning them off. She scrubbed the carpet with scrub brushes that were later found in the dishwasher. Those scrub brushes have carpet fibers in them. They have blood on them. They have Gannon's DNA on them. This is Gannon's bedroom when members of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office first came to the house on January 27th in the evening hours. This is what it looked like. No obvious signs of a struggle. No obvious signs of blood as they walked through the house into Gannon's bedroom. There were no obvious signs of a struggle or a murder because the defendant had cleaned them up. And also realized she had Gannon's blood on her person. Clothes that she was wearing, likely containing Gannon's blood, based off of how much blood had hit the walls, were never found. Her clothing was never found. His shoes, the defendant's shoes, were found on the washing machine, drying. That reddish rust color that you can see on the soles, Gannon's blood and DNA were found on those shoes. You can see just how much blood she was walking through. She was cleaning up that mess. Took more deliberate action. She collected and discarded other important clues. I mentioned she stabbed Gannon 18 times. The instrument that she used to stab Gannon has never been found. That 9mm handgun that she used to fire 3 rounds at Gannon, shell casing ejected out of that firearm each time she pulled the trigger. No shell casing was ever found in Gannon's room. She then took more deliberate action when she hid Gannon in a suitcase first in her car, and then up north to the El Paso County, Douglas County line. EPS location just above the tree. The board had Gannon's blood on.
All right. There's a bit more of prosecutions open in right. Have like 15, maybe 20 before court resumes for the actual first day of testimony. Should I skip forward and let you guys hear some of the prosecution? I mean, the defense's opening statement, or do you want to keep listening to this and lunch break from the defense? Yeah, poor little guy. Evil can say there's so many evil monsters. There's another trial started yesterday, and Jerry and today. Yesterday and today. I don't know how long it's gonna go for. I think it's 5 days. The Lori Oh my god, I'm so sorry, y'all. This stupid phone. Alright, so
Miles away from the Stout family home, which is in the southeast part of the city, close to the airport. You'll learn through testimony that this water came from the Stout family garage. Then took more deliberate and thoughtful action.
can you guys hear this?
The suitcase containing Gannon into the back of a rented van and drove to Florida And that's the course of her travels from here to Florida. She rented a hotel room in Pensacola, Florida on February 4th, 2020. She drove a short distance from that hotel room, which is sort of by those blue angular marks on the map, up to where that red square is on the map. Drove a short distance from that hotel room, across a dark bridge that drives over a river that flows into the Gulf of Mexico. There she acted with determined purpose. Stopped that van. He hauled a suitcase out of the back of that van, dug it to the side of the road, hoisted it up over the railing, pushed it over the side, hoping the again would never be found. 48 days later, 1,300 miles away from where Gannon was murdered, the search for answers and Gannon's remains finally ended on March 17, 2020.
A tile, I'm scraping a fly. All right. Am I here? Can you guys hear me? I'm hoping I'm still here. Anybody here? Anybody here? Anybody here? Anybody here? All right, this is starting to irritate me now.